I think it's the motivation. Actually, it scared me a little bit because if you look at Kuro's profile, he's never played any other game, and is like he's only Dota. We bought him Overwatch, played it for an hour, and said like I'm done. Never paid me back for that, by the way. And then, so then after TI, I saw him finally in a different game. He was playing some some.
Entering on stage with Liquid taking their positions first.
我们知道 Liquid 的战队在刚刚过去的2017年是
They'll be on the left side, same side as LGD ones. LGD set earlier today. Could be the lucky left side.
Players care about stuff like that.
Yeah?
They remember.
They're superstitious?
Everybody is when you're competitive at anything. You want to feel like there's something outside your control.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, we're going to see what's... Well, actually, let's say Liquid wins this one. That means that LGD actually has to go on the other side. So if Liquid wins it again, then today left side too.
It also is a very professional-looking jacket. So
it is a very professional-looking jacket. That is true. That is true. All right. Infamous and Liquid, we've talked about it at length now, and we kind of know that Liquid should be taking this one fairly easily.
So you watch them at Galaxy Battles. What do you feel like? They just have to be really aggressive, right?
They have to win their lanes.
Yes.
I feel like that's probably the only way they're going to beat Team Liquid.
Yeah.
If you could come out of the lanes and win all 3 of them, you have a really strong shot.
Yes. Yeah. We'll blatantly shill for. If Alliance even comes close to being tier 1 again, like, for me, they're top of my list, best team in the world.
Oh, we name our LAN team what was it, the Amateur Alliance or whatever?
No, we had some real, I don't know if some of the names that our team is appropriate.
No, we were the Alliance of Amateur LANs, or whatever we were called.
Someday, maybe.
We were undefeated in California,
yeah.
Shiver.
That's
I mean,
why
I believe it.
We're like the only 5 people that played, but...
No, aggressive trialing. So I think the carry that's being picked here has to be really strong on its own.
All right, it will be the Gyrocopter. Lumi?
I could see Infamous going for that offensive trialing and like pummeling this very weak Liquid.
What does the Infamous need to do to win?
Win
aggressive trialing, win the lanes.
Yeah.
That's
win
it.
The lanes.
What does Liquid need to do to win this? Will?
Don't let Infamous win the lanes.
Or be Liquid.
Show up. I think that I actually don't mind Infamous's draft that much at all. I think it's pretty good.
Okay, okay.
Atu, he seems to sense that the game may be over as he's queuing up a Divine Rapier mid lane, trying to jump in onto the DK, but the Force is there. Saving Miracle for now. Skullfoot tries to roll away. They're trying to commit. Look at the backlines. You got Guitarro coming in with the Eclipse. Straight away manning up with the BKB. Can he take the Miracle in time? He can. Miracle's down once. Has the Aegis. Matuma Man turning back up. They've got the Lucid Beam. Sorry, no, it was Matuma with the Aegis. Miracle's down for good, but still, it's Liquid cleaning up. It's a triple kill for Mind Control. Pepita is going to fall as well for sure as he tries to run. He's not getting out of there. They have buyback available on 3, but GG is called. Liquid will take game 1. But Infamous, definitely an admirable show in this opening game of the series. Not the walk in the park that Liquid may have expected, as there were some signs of brilliance there.
Absolutely. I thought Infamous definitely gave them a game, turned up. It was no cakewalk for Liquid. There were definitely some points where I thought that that Infamous actually got pretty close to causing an upset. But I mean, early on, it was all.
I think it'd be super legit. Good for you, Yannis.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, he didn't actually say that.
No, I know. I see your phone right there, and I know I haven't seen it lit up, so, or see you looking at your phone at all, for that matter. That's an ancient
Their disable is Avalanche, Decrep, and Tether Slow.
You can have a Avalanche toss into Cold Feet.
All right. You figured it out, Sheemer.
Yep.
Got him. There's not enough disable for Team Liquid. Look, if you cover the team names up, I would go with Infamous's draft.
Me
too, honestly.
Is the crap, is that long enough duration to proc Cold Feet?
You could pick off. So Disruptor is a free kill. Weaver, before he gets really farmed up, is a free kill.
Yeah.
Whoever is, I didn't see who picked Tiny, But Tiny needs to get off this game.
Okay. What does Infamous need to do, Will?
They need
The half, Katara playing around with Kuro on the back. Axel's also there, but Mind Control quickly blinks out of the kinetic field. They do lose the courier here as Infamous are able to find that one, but Axel stuck, surrounded by the four of them,
The
beaten down,
desperation
back
storm.
towards the base. Pepita's just getting manned up upon by Miracle, and GG is called. Infamous tap out, and Liquid get the 2-0. That from the start of this game looked pretty inevitable here, Ted. This was the Liquid
Absolutely.
stomp that people expected.
This is what they thought. The first game, I
Yeah.
thought Infamous acquitted themselves really well.
Yep.
This time, Liquid just turned it up another gear, and they absolutely walked all over them. That was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, any team has to be careful about letting the IO into the hands of GH, especially when he has such good heroes to pair
Yeah.
it up with. This Tiny and this Pugna, Mind Control and Matuma just kept alive all the time. And Miracle, he didn't even need the help of GH. He was just able to keep himself alive on his own with the amount of free farm he got
Absolutely.
in that 1v1 matchup.
I didn't see the power of the draft until you saw how it actually played out in the fights. You're like, all right, this actually all makes sense now. This is a really smart draft from Liquid. It looked fiddly, but it wasn't. It was just simple. They just really did it well.
It really was one of those drafts that you're probably unlikely to see Liquid, do against a lot of sort of the higher tier teams. But as a team that
好，那最后同样我们要请 GH 在我们制作的我们的队员的漫画肖像的这个红包外面签名，然后把这份礼物通过我们的微博抽奖送给我们的粉丝啊。签名之前想问他一句，他觉得这5个谁画的最好一点？
Okay, so before we end this, we want to sign all these cards. And what do you think about those comic characters for your team? Like, who do you think draws has the best draw?
These actually look amazing. Whoever did these, great job.
Which one do you like the best?
I think Matumba Man looks best. I like that.
我觉得这些卡片做得非常漂亮，然后画得也非常好。然后我自己最喜欢的话应该是马土的这张，我觉得这张他特别帅。
好，给大家看一下马桶哥的这个肖像的形象啊。OK， 好，那我们请 GH 在我们的这个红包的外面签下名字。
Just sign on the red card.
OK，Thank you。好，那这份礼物我们会通过我们的这个英霸传媒的官方微博的抽奖活动来送给喜欢这个 Liquid 战队、喜欢 GH 的粉丝。Thank you very much。好，我们这段采访就到这里，让我们稍事休息，接下来就是胜者组的决赛了。
Yeah, GH likes IO best. He likes the hero. And who else will say that then? I don't think I'm hurting anybody's feelings when I say that he is the best IO player out there.
Considering like both of them are such strong carries. And then we even saw the way Ame in game number 1 today, where he was the gyrocopter, and he was super good at creating space for maybe.
Yeah.
Right? So I think you need to be able to stop that either way, right? You need to be, whether Ame is playing some hard carry or is playing a space creator, you need to be able to limit his effectiveness early.
But then, I feel like you can't do both Ame and maybe. You gotta choose one.
Strong lanes then. Strong dual off lane would be my idea.
And Liquid has been doing that. We saw Elder Titan earlier together on the offlane. Elder Titan showing up to help.
Yep.
I think at that point it was Mind Control
Brewmaster
on the Razor.
Oh no, you were talking about the.
LGD had a great
Liquid
example
one.
of a very strong dual off lane that puts pressure, which was their Brewmaster Elder Titan.
They did the same thing.
Oh my god, that's so dirty.
Yeah, but they did the same thing as Liquid did, though. They
Okay.
had the same plan. So
Yeah.
I guess Elder Titan is going to be a hero for this series. That is going to be in high
And I am abandoning Matumba Man so hard in this game.
What?
Like, because I know LGD is going to run some aggro nonsense, I'm going to give him some hero that can just safe lane solo, and I'm going to have GH roam into mid as much as possible, and I'm going off lane with Mind Control and Kuro and putting pressure or something. And
I mean, it fits. Yeah, you have something to set up for, I guess, or you have the ultimate disable. You can sing into getting out of the fight. Timber saw there for Liquid. So what is important here for Liquid, Cap? What do you think that they need to do to take this? Because with the Timber last pick, do you have full confidence in them?
I've actually never really liked Timbersaw versus PL. I think you have a lot of mana issues.
Yeah.
buybacks not there for anybody from the Dire, and Peel, the one that's been holding pressure as Ame, he runs into a lot of them. Needs to be careful. They're up there on the high ground. They jump in. It's onto the back line. They have been able to find themselves mind control with the roar to turn it. They get the sleep, trying to keep himself alive, but maybe is dead.
Dead for
no
65.
buyback at all, and this is going to be a really tough one for them to hold it all. The sleep comes out, but the BKB is there as well for mind control. He's trying to run down FY. GH gets healed back up again as well, and Ame, all the illusions taken away. He is going to drop. That is going to be GG, as LGD, they almost were able to make it happen, but in the end, Liquid split push was too much.
That was a hype game, though. They actually they almost came back in this one, but just a little bit too much from Liquid, just making the right calls, making the right moves, taking those fights around. But both teams, they did make some really clever moves. That cutting of the wave by maybe almost winning them the game, almost giving them enough time to come back in this. But Liquid, with that brute force, taking those early 2 Raxes. And
right, is that they have this Beastmaster, they have a Keeper of the Light, they have a Timbersaw, and they have a Lone Druid. All 4 of those heroes can push out and pressure waves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're going to go and gank the Beastmaster, which we've been talking about, right, is that LGD and Newbie.
I guess you are running Tiny as a melee core, which is...
yeah, Reflection would be relatively good here, I guess. And a Quap.
So is this an IO Tiny safe for off lane then? Or is Ruby going to join them?
Could just be MC going down,
Yeah.
down.
That's what happens. But is it going to continue happening? That's the question. What does LGD need to do this game, Cap?
So LGD, the PL, Omni Knight, SF, they're going to have to do a lot with their supports in this game. A lot of pressure is on them to be able to slow down the laning phase of Team Liquid.
What can they catch here?
Mind controls in vision. Repel forward. They're going for GH. This is the man they want. FY gets a Burrow Strike onto 2. They relocate away. GH completely alone right now. Sonic Wave. SK is gone. Kuro ends up stealing GA. Had Repel already. Waiting for it right now. There's the turnaround. Kuro not dying for that. Avatos. Again, it happens. They take down the Shadow Fiend. They're all dead.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, Liquid. GG's called. That's it. They can't handle it.
That felt like the desperation smoke. They were just like, we are falling further and further behind. We need to get a big fight coming out here. But Liquid, all in position for that one.
Man.
Wow, that was a brutal performance coming out from Liquid. They played that game incredibly fast-paced. They did not let LGD get back into it. They got as soon as they got the Sanking Blink Dagger, they got that pick up on Matu, but they couldn't really find that big momentum to really seize the game for themselves and claim back control. Just losing all their towers, losing so much map control. Man.
Really impressive showing there from Liquid. And again, you talk about this team. LGD at various points looked like they were a really good team.
Yeah.
Liquid just looked next level. They're a scary team to go against right now. Everything from the draft to individual execution, it was all feeling like it was coming up them.
Yeah, that 3-minute fight at that bottom tier 2 was like the biggest thing for me. There was some trades coming out of it, but Miracle surviving at the end of all of it. They just really wanted to get that tower advantage, and they just never wanted LGD to be the ones on the aggressive.
We had 3 series. We started off with LGD 2-0 in complexity, which was a lot more one-sided than we were expecting, to be sure. A lot of wombo combo things, and you know what? Mineski, they do the same. They like a wombo combo things too. So
It feels really bad. So I do feel like that. I don't think that they'll ban it in the first 3, but I think as like a 3rd, 4th, if they are going for that type of coddle or some type of big int core like an Invoker, probably not the Invoker, but if they do want to do something like that, they will ban it later on.
Oh, who got kicked to let Keen sit down?
I think GH is being replaced.
GH is probably getting some strats in the back, right? Talking to Owen a little bit. We've seen GH get pretty distracted. They're like, GH, you got to be on the stage in a minute. He's like, oh yeah, I have a game.
Oh yeah, gotta play Dota.
You guys seen ROTK drafting for his team, right?
Yeah.
He literally makes one of his players get up, and then he sits down as a coach and start pressing the draft buttons.
I do love when
I love that.
I do love that.
The most, yeah.
That is pretty funny though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we saw that first at Bucharest, right?
Yeah.
In Bucharest, we're just like, wait, all right, ROTK takes the field. He's just like, get the hell out of here, man.
I mean, as Dota progresses, maybe at some point, you do have that coach, and the rest are his players are basically his chess pieces.
Yeah.
And then you need one to have one drafter.
It is
like Kuro's like, I'm not gonna play anymore from this point onwards. I'm just gonna draft and tell people what to do. Sure.
I mean, it can work, right? Because then you have everybody else feeding you ideas, and you're the one who makes that final decision. Being a captain is stressful, because sometimes it's down to you really when you click that last hero. Sure, your team can decide, but you have the final say.
Responsibility.
Yeah, you're responsible once you click it.
The only downside comes when you do have to have a plan in game, and someone has to be able to translate that into clues to give during the game itself, which as a coach you can't do yet. Who knows to which stage Dota develops.
Well, the current ruling doesn't allow it, because in sports there's like timeout where you could call plays and draw like what our next 5 plays will be. Right here,
I want my team to win another TI. I wanna get that. I want a team to get that money. So I want the best possible chances for my team.
But we saw that. I think Counter-Strike had that for a while, and that did not last very long. People hated it because the games were.
It doesn't make very good spectating, I think.
It made it harder for spectating. Yeah. They got rid of it a while back.
Okay.
Yeah, where the coach can actually chime in the middle of the game and be like, "Hey guys, you're doing the wrong stuff." He's
Which game
doing so
does it?
objectively.
There's a game that does that. That has like a 6-person walking about and being in the game. Is that League of Legends, or is it also only during the draft?
I love Dota, and all I watch is Dota. I occasionally tune into maybe a little bit of CS, but mostly Dota, so I don't really know.
We're cycling through Mineski's players here on your screen.
We're recycling through Mineski players.
Recycling? Oh no.
Oh, you said cycling or recycling?
Lumi took it as recycling.
No, I said cycling.
I was like, man, all of these guys are having pizza parties soon.
So one thing that was brought up earlier is that the big difference between Team Liquid and Mineski is that in Liquid, Kuro calls the shots, he drafts, sure, he'll get advice from Heen and his players, but it's Kuro eventually that makes a decision, and that's all good. It's nice. They have Mushi. They have 71. There's a lot of cooks in that kitchen.
There is definitely a lot of cooks. I can imagine those comms being very vocal. Everyone making their own plays. I mean, we were, yesterday when I was casting with Owen, we're like, oh, I wonder what they're going to be doing here. And we just hear Ice being like, I'm going in. And he literally just like jumps in and dies for his team. And we're like, oh.
Yeah, they didn't ban anything. I checked on the screen, but yeah.
The Chinese casters were also surprised. They were perhaps wondering if the time ran out.
Damn, Sheev's on point. That TB. I guess that could be the contingency. They want to, like, in case things do go wrong, they can wait for the late game. And Omni Terrorblade is a little bit different than just a Terrorblade versus Tinker, because he does have the repel.
Yeah.
Great call, Sheev.
Thank y'all. All right, Mineski, last pick. And we are looking for a hero for Mushi, correct?
Yeah, what can he grab here?
I mean, Mushi is the Medusa player, if they want to really drag this game out. But they go for the Razor in the end. A little more sturdy.
Something to get in early, but I do feel like Razor is susceptible to that Pugna quite heavily. You get bursted very easily by that hero.
To reflect on their last matchup against Liquid in a Starladder. This time around, it's going to be in the semifinals. The opportunity to face LGD in the grand finals. Mineski, I feel like I've underrated them a bit, just because of their performance in some of the Southeast Asia qualifiers, where they've lost to TNC and Fnatic a couple times. That because of that, I've underrated them a little bit going into this event, but they've definitely proven to be by far the standout Tier 2 team outside of LGD, of course, who are in the grand finals.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of underrates Mineski. They're like a weird team, though, because you still have some trepidation. It feels like a better version of Faceless. And Faceless, of course, didn't make it to TI, and that was very disappointing, because C region is a lot more stacked than any of us ever realized. Like, they always do well at TI.
Yeah, absolutely. Spotting GH, but they also have an aggressive ward down. Miracle's immediately going to jump on him. Blinks forward. This is Liquid. They always do this. Always blinking out away from the Roshan pit to try and force the fight. Moon is in this back line, so he's got to get off this constant damage. Ninja Boogie right in the middle of nowhere trying to help out Mushi right now with the Brewmaster going for Kuroky, but the Chen is not that important.
Dying.
It's Miracles that's the important one. He's going to jump onto Mushi with the reflection, slowing him down, beats him down with all of those illusions. Jump forward by GH, controlling up that Fire Panda to make sure Kuro stays alive. Tinker canceling that TP, knows that Ice in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by heroes. He can't really help that whatsoever. Enchantress beat down by Matumba Man's life drain once again. Everyone from Liquid survives, and Mineski don't even try and fight this anymore. They know they are beat for this game one.
Yeah. And Mineski have not gotten a kill in such a long time. At one point, it was the score, they were up 6-5, and then the game ends 26-8. Liquid with 20 kills to 2 almost.
Would it be fair to say, Blitz, that Meneski was actually matching Liquid strategy-wise, step for step, for most of that like 20-minute period?
I hope not. I mean, I don't really know. It's there. Shadow Fiend. Oh, okay.
Fiend.
There you go. That's an option. There you go.
You like the option? You like the Shadow Fiend?
I think that was the best one that fit what we were talking about, taking objectives, being able to actually lane.
Ooh, OD.
Oh, OD is so good here. Oh, man. Do you see somebody being gone on Omni
There's
OD?
so many save.
Omni OD.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, I need to hear it from you guys.
You hope that.
Yes. Very much so.
But do you think it's going to happen?
Do I think it's going to happen?
Do you think their draft gives them the advantage?
I have to see it again.
Okay.
And then I'll give you my thoughts.
People don't understand that, but whenever we do panel, the draft like disappears instantly.
Oh, yeah.
We have to like throw it up all together in our heads and try and figure out what lanes are. And
We're going to assault for this right now. Meneski completely on the back foot. Matama Man.
Oh, initiation there. Bash comes out. Now the RP onto 2. A second GA, though. Mushi's just not going to lay in the damage, so instead they have to get the magic damage out for the SF, but it's just not good enough with the Repel already placed on the OD. Miracle is a monster who keeps on pressing forward. Blinks forward onto the SF. He wants Moon badly, but a BK beat up, a bad up. Ursa tries to challenge him, immediately forced away to the fountain. Moon is chased under tier 4, tries to let loose the ultimate. No chance. A triple kill for Miracle. And now Mushi's going to die as well. 2 minutes on the clock for him. Mushi. He's dead, and it's all up to Moon and Ice to fight against 5 of Liquid with no RP. It seems an impossible scenario for Meneski.
And it does not look like we are going to get a game 3. I think Meneski right now are processing those 2 bottom fights for them. Especially the one where they took, it was like 3v5. They decided to take it anyways, thinking they were so far ahead. But GG is going to be called. What a game, though.
Relief from the Liquid players as they are able to close out that game 2. It seems our wish, and I'm sure all the viewers' wish as well, we are not going to be seeing a game 3 that will not come true. Meneski will lose to Liquid once again here in the playoffs of Starladder. One hell of a game, though. Meneski, I mean, I know you were praising it back and forth. The strategy that they employed against Liquid in both Game 1 and Game 2, it looked fantastic. It just seemed like they weren't quite good enough to be able to close out the game.
It was just, they had these moments of just brilliance. The re-engage on mid when they grabbed the DD instead of going into the Roshan pit, fantastic move. And then they take that bottom fight. I see a pink dot inside the base. We can talk about.
Ooh, interview with GH. Let's go there right now.
Let's hear this.
I just want to ask about game 2. You guys was like falling behind in the middle of the game, but what happened in that game make you guys have to come back?
I feel like we were leading most of the game until the Magnus had like a 3-man RP with the refresher, and everything went downhill from there. But we managed to bring everything back to the game, and we just like slowly try to progress the game and get the Roshan and just take the game.
我觉得我们首先就是我们这信念还是比较坚定嘛。然后一开始其实我们这个游戏的话还是有掌控的，直到就是马格纳斯的那一波刷新大的话是把我们的阵脚打乱了，但是我们并没有放弃，然后我们也是打得比较耐心，最后是成功的拿下了比赛的胜利。
好，那第二个问题其实是关于他个人的。那么我们知道 GH 有很多绝活的英雄，当然土猫在去年还不在这个英雄范围之列，但是今天第2局其实看到拿出了土猫，表现还不错。所以想问他平时会花多少的训练时间去训练一些可能在比赛中不常用的额外的这些辅助英雄？
We know you have a lot of signature heroes like Wisp and Koto, but you didn't play Earth Spirit last year, right? But in this year you always use this hero and you seem pretty good about it. So I just want to ask you, like, how do you train? Do you how much time do you spend practicing some like new heroes every day?
I guess it's kind of different for every hero because every person likes to play a different hero, and sometimes there are heroes that are meta heroes and I don't like to play. So thing is, if you want to just practice a hero, you gotta play it like 20, 30, 50 games, 100 games maybe if you want to get really good at it. So I'm just still in this practice phase, so I'm just practicing some heroes.
我的话，我觉得这东西还是要看个人吧。有的人的话，还是每个人都有自己的这个英雄的取舍嘛。有的人喜欢这个英雄，有人不喜欢这个英雄，所以有的时候练起来也比较累。我自己的话，反正我觉得，如果一个英雄打得比较好的话，至少需要20场、30场，甚至100场以上的练习。我觉得我自己现在也还是在一个学习的阶段。
好的，确实还是非常的刻苦。那么最后一个问题，决赛里将遭遇的中国战队不是牛逼，而是 LGD。这之前GH有想到吗？那么现在面对 LGD 这个在小组中曾经战胜过的对手，现在是不是觉得夺冠的信心非常大
？So talking about the final, you guys gonna face LGD. This time it's not newbie, but still a Chinese strong team. You guys beat them 2-0 in the group stage. Are you feeling confident right now to win the next, this one as well?
We didn't really think about it. We were just focusing on playing Minaski. So I guess I just have to head out to my teammates and ask them how they feel. I feel pretty good for the moment, but I feel like we need to just go over some strategic stuff and everything will be fine from there.
我觉得我还是不想太把这些东西往自己脑子里放吧。现在的话，我脑子里还想是打 Minaski 的事情，所以我觉得我现在休息之后的话，还是回到我的队伍，然后我们让我们的团队一起来针对这下一个对手来做一些调整和战术上的准备。
好的，那么最后还是麻烦 GH 给我们的粉丝在卡片上签名。好，如果想得到 Liquid 的天才辅助 GH 签名的选手卡片，可以参与我们官方微博的活动。谢谢 GH，Thank you。好，那让我们休息大约1小时左右，我们本届比赛的最终 BO5的决赛将会开始，我们稍后见。
Yeah, GH, MVP of the match, and apparently he is in practice phase.
And apparently he went 1-12-2. No, the assists do get cut off.
20-something.
But he was the sacrificial lamb a lot of the times for his teammates,
yes.
just jumping in, giving them the visions for the glimpse, just getting the initiations off.
Yeah, good. But I mean, that as Lumi said, that felt like a finals. Especially the second game was like one finals wrapped in one game. It was just so good.
Yeah.
Well, hold your predictions. It is time to open the grand final in style.
各位现场的观众朋友，所有正在收看直播的 Dota 2的玩家朋友们，大家下午好。
I know a little bit, but I do know that he just said Team Liquid.
Let's go.
There you go. The
Go
boys
GH.
in white.
GH gone.
And
what?
blue.
Teddy's already cheering for Liquid. What is this?
GH, give me a thumbs up, dude.
All right.
Love these guys.
They are
You're
the
just
TI
so non-biased.
champions.
Big fan. Go Liquid.
They are the defending champions. They are the champions of Group A. They have already beaten LGD to dust earlier in the tournament. And don't they look ready to play some Dota?
They do. They've got the Matuma Man's lucky shorts on.
Yep.
He couldn't wear those at Genting, I believe.
It's true.
No shorts were allowed.
I mean, and they did lose that final.
And they lost, so...
What do you mean allowed? You can't wear shorts?
Because they wanted the players to have a certain decorum.
Jesus.
Ted is...
It's video games, for Christ's sake.
A grand final wouldn't be complete if there wasn't two teams in it. So, LGD will join them on stage. LGD are here by the challengers.
Not a peep from the crowd here, not a popular team.
They're slightly biased here.
Is that why you were cheering for Liquid 10?
Yeah, I'm trying to, offset it a little bit. These guys have got hundreds of fans in the crowd here, giving them a cheer on. Let's give Liquid a break, huh?
LGD, they went the hard road to the finals after getting knocked down. Well, actually, they started the tournament in style by 2-0 in complexity first. And then they got knocked down by Liquid to the lower bracket where they played yesterday. They were able to overcome.
Split pushing because he was worried that we'd go and try and help him. So he would secretly split push and leave us two and be like, oh my god, we're all getting slaughtered. Meanwhile, he's like, it's all right, guys, I took 2 lanes of racks. That's just bear stuff. That's just what the bear does.
But
do you think Matumba Man does that with Liquid?
He just doesn't tell him what he's doing.
He's like, don't look at bottom lane, guys.
You guys look busy. Stay busy.
I'm there. I swear I'm there. My bear. I just have to summon it. You know.
I'll be there in a bit. Just TPing in. He's just meanwhile he's eating buildings.
But so that was game one. The fighting itself was there though. So a different hero, different bands might have fixed that. But instead, LGD decided, well, that strategy didn't work. We're gonna do something different, and that's something that they did earlier today as well. Where they went a little bit more on the greedy side. All they needed to do, quote unquote, was survive the laning stage.
Yeah, we've said that a lot actually. That's been one of the things we've said quite often is just, have good lanes and stuff like that. I think the interesting thing is that when Liquid were looking a bit shaky in the early stages of, I think the first game, where they were under a decent amount of pressure, they were having to rotate around and stuff like that. Miracle's Terrorblade really wasn't in a great position where he wanted to be, and a lot of movements and stuff. They like to do a lot of movement with Kuro and with GH, and then with mind control. They want to be able to dictate the pace. If they can't do that, they do look unsettled.
Yeah.
And they know, that you need farm for Matu and for Miracle. So
the last core from Liquid.
I can't think of too many other offlaners I really like right now.
Storm Spirit.
Well, it will be a Storm Spirit.
Try.
Okay. There's your catch.
There is not a lot of lockdown on LGD. This could be problematic.
Yeah, this is the mind control Razor that we saw from them earlier, and then Matumba Man is going to be playing the Dragon Knight. So they're going to sacrifice Matumba Man possibly in the safe lane against the Enchantress ET, run aggro with the...
Go and have your tea, Ted.
He's grumpy. He's still grumpy. You can tell.
He's coping.
All right, so this should be pretty cool. The Lycan pick definitely was a bit unexpected, it seemed. I don't know if Liquid thought that one was coming because of the way that they banned out.
Well, I was like, all right, this guy can do anything.
Maybe we'll see it in the highlight reel. Who knows? But this is the highlight reel.
So Liquid, the first thing that happened in this game was that Liquid established very strong lanes. They pretty much LGD was left with only being able to get kills because the top 3 CS on the board, and you can see it right here in the top net worth, was all of the Liquid cores because they had a Dragon Knight versus an Enchantress, which they're happy with. They aggro tri-lane to make sure that the supports of LGD were locked in to defending that Lycan rather than trying to gank the Storm Spirit, which means Miracle actually had a very good game, especially at the start. Against an SF with no souls, he managed to get a really large CS lead to start the whole entire game. And then it just eventually turned into the Miracle show where he's got his Bloodstone, he's got a lot of regen, and he could pretty much just zip around everywhere. But LGD were still winning fights despite the fact that they didn't really have a good way to handle the Storm Spirit. A lot of it was their positioning, really clutch TPs out as well.
And itemization.
Yeah, and itemization. Honestly, the best play, I think, of almost the whole entire game was that the play near the top tier 2, which I'm sure we'll see, where LGD were able to take a Rax off of that. And this was one of the biggest downfalls of Liquid here, where a gank onto a Razor turns into like 4 people dying from Liquid. Because Miracle jumps in, he thinks he's going to get 2 support kills, he only gets 1, and he dies, and then they catch Kuro as well as mind control off of this, I think.
I mean, we were saying how hard it is to disengage when there's a disruptor, and I think the commentators actually mentioned it. Disengaging from an Enchantress ain't no joke either.
No.
And we often saw the Razor going like, oh, I'm piecing on this, and he could not. Enchantress just slowed him and beat him up, and I think mind control suffered a bit from that as well. I mean, this SF did a lot in the game.
He really did.
But this is the problem. I love that combo. The Night Stalker, Disruptor, get these ridiculous glimpses from outer space, bringing them back into hell.
Yeah.
And they did that time and again. And I think it was that set it up. I mean, Miracle at this point, you know, all right, they're going to lose mind control probably, but it doesn't matter. It's all Bloodstone charges. It's all good.
But it's just the Shadow Fiend core. He doesn't have souls
and
either.
He's just
Instantly
been jumped,
stunned.
Immediately mind control with these blink stuns, making it impossible for them to react. He does get the BKB out, but it won't keep that SF alive. That'll be maybe to fall. X-Nova as well, he'll be going down. As LGD just getting pulled apart piece by piece. Liquid onto the tier 4s.
Unbelievably close game.
And there we have it.
GG is called.
GG is called. Team Liquid taking game 1 against LGD. Had its ups and downs. LGD showing a lot of promise, but at the end of the day, it was the clutch plays really. The combination of mind control, getting the stun, and Miracle having as free a game as he did on the Storm Spirit, able to just instantly close the gap and finish off any kill that was set up at 4.
Like you said though, Ice Frog did seem to bless Liquid a bit in this game. Miracle getting the perfect runes it seemed inside that early game, that Arcane rune, that regen rune at the clutch moment as well. But man, Liquid, they're feeling the pressure of that. GH, looks like his ears are starting to hurt a little bit. That was a very, very close back and forth game. It did seem like LGD could have it. But man, those combination plays, that Miracle plus mind control.
He was going to kill who he was on, but at the same time they could take care of the Razor. MVP though indeed goes to Miracle.
He was almost MVP for LGD, which is the thing. But as it is,
hey, I'm sure Kuro and Heen will probably have some words for Miracle after that game.
The thing is, if you try to hamper a guy like that and say, you have to play more steady style, he doesn't make those awesome plays. And in another day, he pulls off a kill and gets away on 10 HP, and everyone's like, he's a god, he knows just how to do it, but sometimes it goes wrong.
Yep, this is still a lineup that does by like 35 minutes.
Yep. Also, another trivia. This win for Liquid right now was Kuroky's 999th victory.
So if he wins one more Sheeps, what would that mean?
That means he is the first pro player to have 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah, the first in all of the
We're going to
Dota
see
2
it
pros.
live here, I assume.
That'd be hilarious. LGD just smack him down 3 games in a row, doesn't get the 1,000th win.
And he never won again.
Weird ones, like the pushback, blinding light. You have maybe Witch Doctor, Voodoo Restoration. It'd be difficult to be able to save the hero if it's jumped by Sand King.
Oh.
Also,
they first phase banned it
I figured
last
you'd want to
game.
right-click her because of the Beastmaster attack speed stuff, you know? You wouldn't want to necessarily pick a DP.
Wow.
Now they're doubling down on that. Look at these lads. These lads are committed to beating up buildings.
How is LGD going to stop the bear, though?
Well, how is Team Liquid going to stop DK Beastmaster, Lycan, Kotl?
With the bear?
I actually like LGD's lineup.
Draft, their draft is scary as hell.
The Kotl really threw me for a loop. I had no idea what LGD was doing with that. But
for the most part, I think LGD actually is just full committed into this push. They see the Disruptor as well.
Yes.
And I was like, Kotl. Okay, now I'm starting to understand what they're trying to do here. Liquid. Still no Radiance. They are not ready for this by any means.
They really aren't, and LGD, they know that. They want to abuse that opening as much as they can. In goes the army. They've got the Roar onto GH. GH on the sidelines getting knocked back. They do have a Static Storm from Kuro, buying some time. Crimson Guards out as well as the Repel. Keeps GH alive. The tier 3 as well being held up by the Crimson Miracle. Zipping him an immediate stun from Maybe. Catches out Miracle. He's down for 30. Now the Elder Dragon form comes out. They have Fortification. But Liquid, they are slowly but surely losing a second set of tier 3 tower and barracks as LGD are absolutely doing it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Liquid maybe just tap out and accept defeat off the back of this one. This draft fully executed to its potential by LGD. GH pops an epicenter, but he has to back himself away. The bear can do very little to stop this as LGD finish off the melee racks and range racks of the middle lane. Matuma Man dying to the Maledict. 11 for 5, 12k lead, 18 minutes in. LGD. Yeah, you have to. There's no way you come back from this one. The draft from LGD was perfect. The execution even more immaculate. This isn't going to happen again, surely, in this series. Kuroky will not let LGD have these heroes together. Beastmaster, Lycan, Kotl, it was all the push that LGD could ever dream of, and they just showed us they know exactly what to do with this sort of game plan.
If they open up with Lycan, I would be very surprised if we don't see Kuroky ban out that Beastmaster. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And the way that they abused that lone druid in that top lane, they just put this Kotl Beastmaster, got the kill, got the second blood as well, got all the 3 tier 1s as you said.
So is Liquid better prepared this time for a lot of early aggression?
Yes, absolutely. Already with the Pugna and whatever this hero is, it's going to be...
I think they needed a good stun. I think they really needed a good AoE stun. Whack them in there, punch them all in the face. Sven IO, let's do this.
All right. Then what do they need to do exactly then? Punch them all, that's it?
Queen of Pain and a Dragon Knight on the same team.
Yeah. They're really looking to just try to snowball again. That's what I see with DK and Queen of Pain. I think Cap was mentioning it too. The scaling potential into later stages, unless these heroes get off to like many kills, many towers, they do start to fall off. Queen of Pain is one of those heroes that you really want to play ahead. Same comp once that mid wave pushes in, and that's going to be the plan. They've got Roar at the ready too.
There is a buyback available for maybe if he wants to try and hold the second set of racks, but Miracle, he's in straight away with the BKB, looks towards FY, chops down the Elder Titan, the telekinesis is there, out onto the DK, they have the Decrepify Life Drain, bringing Arme down low. Someone has brought back, he's looking to try and find GH, but the Primal Roar is being held onto by Mind Control, finally unleashes it onto the Queen of Pain. It's a dieback from him. Next Nova throws out the cast, tries to go for it here with a final hurrah with the Death Wall, but it's just not enough. Triple kill for Miracle, GG is called. LGD getting a taste of their own medicine in terms of the speed that they were beaten down in a very different style though with the lineup that Liquid had, whereas it was their turn, Liquid, to punish this draft of LGD that really was relying on them getting the ball rolling early.
Yeah. The big thing for me was definitely that Beastmaster IO lane. They completely shut down that Dragon Knight to where he couldn't really have much of an impact on the game at all. And while they're doing that, they're forcing so many reactions. They're causing so much pressure that Miracle's completely left alone and forgotten about where he just farms the jungle up, gets very high level because he's left alone in the lane too, farms up some Ancients, farms up some stacks, becomes that absolute monster, going beyond godlike in this game. Just
because they didn't tap out until very late in that game. Why would they hold on so long? Or am I missing a comeback mechanic?
I mean, the Dragon Knight and Quapper is still going to scale later into the game. They were still, like, I think I said...
scaling against Sven?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to outscale that hero. Absolutely not.
Time left.
Sniper.
They ban out the Sniper, which would have been a nice combination with Ogre Magi.
So they get the OD because the Dusa is the last, it's the last Ogre hero. It's the last kind of mid carry that I can think of because they banned the Sniper, right? It was the three, Sniper, OD, Medusa. You pick up the Dusa, they're going to pick up OD, and they're very happy with that. So you grab the OD instead, and this puts LGD in an awkward position, I think. Maybe they just run an SF. Damn.
No, they were running. Dude.
Oh, it's a maybe Puck.
Maybe Puck.
Dude, LGD is, they're all in about this, like, very aggressive single core lineup and running fast pace. Like, they set every single one of their lineups to win the first 20 minutes against Team Liquid.
If they don't win the first 20 minutes, do they even have a shot?
They still have a shot, but it's really difficult.
All right.
Liquid's lineup is another Tricore, but it's not as greedy as game number 2, where they have the Lone Druid. They have a Gyrocopter here instead, which is an early-paced hero.
Absolutely, this could be the final game of the tournament if Team Liquid can pull it through. Can LGD put a stop to this run that Liquid have got themselves back on with that last game stomp that they had? That is the question. I mean, LGD, they're trying something a little different, Fox. We're seeing them bring the China Doom and an Ogre Magi into this grand finals.
Was that the first Doom? Maybe there was one Doom in this tournament. I think there may have been one Doom before. Yeah, I think there was one Doom, but that is the debut of the Ogre Magi. So they are experimenting with some new heroes in potentially their last game of the tournament.
Yeah, we've seen it before already in this LAN. You know, teams coming in as having sort of these struggle against their opponent and then trying something that's a little bit different. So they're catching them a bit off guard, and I don't think Liquid would have necessarily expected the Ogre or the Doom to appear here in this game. Another question really, if Liquid are...
LGD unable to do anything versus this lineup now. They're going to port in. This
They've
is
got to do
last
something
effort.
big. They are going to try. Jump in straight away, but Matumaman just posts the BKB. Chalice leading on to Miracle, but GH is there with the tether, keeping Miracle alive. Sanity's Eclipse drop down onto X-Nova. He's down. Arme gets picked apart as well. Chalice to fall. Double kill for Miracle, and GG is called. It's all too much for LGD as Liquid beat down upon them in incredible fashion and secure themselves another victory here at Starladder as Liquid are your Starladder I-League Season 4 champions.
They've defended their titles how many times now in a row? 3 times or so? Liquid, Matu really just turned it up a notch in this game. The rest of his teammates were kind of stubborn, but him and Mind Control just salvaged it completely. Those big fights, the primal splits getting off every single time. LGD just, it actually just snowballed completely out of control.
It really did. I mean, we saw here today in this LAN final, sure, LGD had that one game where they had this strat, they executed it flawlessly, but the other 3 games, the other 3 losses to Liquid, it just never was quite there for LGD. A little bit of a glimmer of hope in that last game, but there we have it. Kuroky lifting the cup. His 1,001 win. 1 game on his way towards those 2,000 wins that I'm sure will inevitably see Kuro reach down the lifeline of his career.
Has brought his shorts to play.
He really has. Did LGD ever really stand a chance against this Finnish fashionista?
I don't know, but it was damn well played by this one. It looked like a bit of a struggle in the laning phase, but they really took advantage of that Doom cooldown. They pressed forward, started using that advantage, started taking advantage of like Disruptor being that weak hero if you get ran at. And look at Matu, as always. That sweet celebration.
He loves it. They love it. GH smiles all around, Mind Control. Miracle as ever, playing it cool. Matu just absolutely owning the moment here on stage. As Liquid.
They only dropped 1 game at this tournament, right?
They really did, in the grand finals against LGD. Other than that, it's been smooth sailing from start to finish. More of those tasty Dota Pro circuit points in the bag for them as well. Of course, on top of the money.
Miracle's like, no, I'm okay. Just standing next to you guys is enough.
He's not about that life.
No.
But wow. There we have it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining myself and Fogged for this grand finals. Hats off, of course, to Team Liquid. Massive congratulations to them. Kudos to LGD for trying their best, but it just wasn't quite enough at the end of the day, as Team Liquid are your Starladder I-League Season 4 champions.
D and Gyro just too strong, and they got there before LGD could really do anything about it, but they look pretty relaxed and casual, don't they, Liquid? They knew what they're doing.
I mean, they know what
you guys
it's like
did exactly
win,
what they told you to do.
Yeah. They seem very comfortable in victory.
Yeah, they did seem comfortable.
If you saw, like, what was it, the beginning of this game, LGD was very far up when it came to the initial net worth. They were winning all of their lanes, basically, because the Gyro Wisp couldn't really threaten the Lycan very well. Then they had the mid matchup, the Puck versus Brewmaster, which Puck was doing very well for himself.
Yeah, they were definitely winning in farm and area.
Yeah, and then the aggro lane going into Miracle's OD. Miracle was very underfarmed, had a hard time, but you always had a feeling, because the Gyrocopter is still kind of free farming, and they have a Brewmaster. Liquid's going to win some fights, right? Yeah, you could force 10 fights. Liquid only needs to win like 2 or 3 of them to be able to keep the game even. Their drafting and their concepts of strategy they just looked out of their depth against Liquid. They found one thing that worked for them, and as Ted said, tried variations of that, and that was not going to be enough. Whereas you saw Mineski try 2 different kind of strategies against Liquid, going up against a terrible late push lineup as well as the Lone Druid, and found different pacings to be able to go toe-to-toe with Liquid pretty easily.
Best moment for you, Ted?
I think it's the motivation. Actually, it scared me a little bit, because if you look at Kuro's profile, he's never played any other game, and he's only Dota. We bought him Overwatch, played it for an hour, and said I'm done. Never paid me back for that, by the way. And then, after TI.